Jen here, and I have a question from a couple of my students this week, and that is how to play a dotted quarter single eighth note. And it's mainly because of the fact that sorry, I got too close there. Mainly because there are a lot of Christmas music coming up, and dotted quarter single eighth is a lot of the songs. So I'm going to use Silent Night as like an example because a lot of people know of it. And it's nothing that fancy. I just want to kind of go over that rhythm the best I can and see if it will help some people, even my students or beyond. I just want to help people because music is something that it's universal all across the world. So I just want to make sure people are able to enjoy learning and then also playing an instrument, singing, or even just piano. It'd be great. So I'm going to go ahead and spin this around. So it's set up. Hopefully it won't fall. Still my little tripod here. Okay. So when you think of the song Silent Night, almost spelled it with a K. Ignore my Mickey here. So Silent Night has the beginning that everybody knows, and I'm not a singer by any means, so ignore my singing ability. But you would think at the beginning of Silent Night, right? Silent Night. And everybody sings along, it's great. So in order to do that accurately when it comes to pieces of music, if you feel like you want to learn how to play it on an instrument like the piano, I'm going to see if this will work for you so you can understand it. First, you now know about your quarter note. Quarter note is normally in 4/4 time, one beat. Well, one beat is actually very long. It's the clicking of the metronome, or the sound that you hear when you're thinking of clapping along to a song. That's your beats. So as long as it's in between the two clicks, here's one click, the next note would be another click. There's actually a whole lot going on in between. So as you're thinking of a note, any note, those are usually your quarter notes, and it's usually when you are thinking about your clicking. Before you get to the next note, any note, that would be beat number 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If it was just a metronome clicking or some other kind of clicking, that's what you're hearing. So in between, there's a lot of different beats inside. And in time, as you get more, I'm looking at the camera like you can see me. In time, as long as you are getting into music, more complicated stuff, you have a thing called an eighth note, which looks like a little flag. You have 16th notes, which have 2 flags, or looks like this together. So these are different ways you can have something smaller than a quarter note. So I'm going to actually add an and inside that 2. So instead of just 1, 2, 1, 2, I'm going to make this guy smaller and make these into 2 eighth notes. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2. So you can go a little faster when you have the eighth notes. 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, etc. Usually, eighth notes are written with a little theme connecting them. So if your choir music or your hymnal, something has these, that's what they're talking about. 1 and. Okay, so far we've just done a quarter note and an eighth note. Eighth notes mean half of a quarter. Just like your old-fashioned math, here's your half, here's your quarter. It's half of a quarter. Half of a quarter note is your, oops, let me do this again. We do eighths. So here's your quarter note, 1/4, 1/4, but in your eighth notes, it's half the speed, just like your fractions. So if you have a song that has the silent name in it, you'll notice that there's a dot next to it, and then a single eighth note like that. So we're actually going to extend the quarter note quite a bit. We already know that has an and in it. We talked about that. So one and. We're going to go already into beat 2. This is the and that's left over. So now you're going to hold the 1 and 2. 1 and 2. The and is going to be short. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. So if you went 1 and 2 and 3, 4. There's your silent night. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Or whatever the music does after that. So every time now when you see a dotted quarter, it's 1 and 1/2 beats. And 1 and 1/2 beats would be 1 and 2. That is your dotted quarter. Single eighth is either going to be the number or an and symbol. A and B. So 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So that's just like a little tiny summary of it. Hopefully it helped. It's a little complicated without me showing you and then having you try it and all that good stuff, but at least it may get somebody started. Good luck.